Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We are very excited. This is our first 2024 Beta Xtrainer. Can't wait to get this thing unboxed and give you guys a full review. This one is sold, plus the next 3 that are due to come in. Can't thank you guys enough for supporting our shop and the channel. Let's get this unboxed. I'll give you a full review of this new model. So here we are. Here's that 2024 Beta Xtrainer. First 2024 in the building. We're really excited. And so I want to do a full review for you guys. So if you're new to the beta world, thanks for joining. Thanks for checking out our channel. And if you've never heard about the Xtrainer before, hopefully this video gets you guys all the info you need to make a great purchase no matter where you live. So we do a lot with beta. We'll start with that. We have a fully built 2023 Xtrainer in the background, which I'm kind of going to use for comparison notes here. So if you guys aren't familiar with what you can do to one, this is fully built for one of my pro riders. We do hard enduros with it. So not only is this a great beginner bike where you can just go learn the trail systems, but you can take a full professional rider. And we went to the Tennessee Knockout and he made it through Sunday on that bike. So a lot of talent, a lot in these bikes. Like you can do so much with them. So let's start with the basics. So the Xtrainer is a 15% smaller bike. It's not just a lowered RR model. So it's not like a standard RR where the frame is bigger and wider. It's got a smaller, tighter feel. So if we come in here to the gas tank, Brax, just kind of bring the camera on the top down here. It's a much comfier and like your legs aren't spread as much. So it's tighter feel in the gas tank. It still has a 2.3 gallon gas tank capacity. So you can still hold a ton of fuel in this. And we will show you in a little bit, our Xtrainer Beta just came out with the new gas tank. This is IMS makes these. A little bit bigger gas tank. We're like 3.2, so we gained an extra gallon over here. And we did that for our longer rides. So in 2023, they redesigned this whole bike. So if you guys are like on Google and you type in Beta Xtrainer, and it's going to come up like the first one is 2016. That was the first year for these bikes, and you're going to go all the way through. So 2016 to 2022 are very similar bikes. There are some changes, but not a lot. 2023 was the first year for a whole revamped bike. So what they did, it was new bodywork, new gas tank. It's clear now. Before they were a black gas tank, and they redesigned the rear subframe. So all of this matches the standard RR model. So we can share air filters with the standard bikes. So I like that. We can stock one air filter now for all the betas. We still stock the other style, of course, but it's just easier as a dealer. Everything is the same again, which we think is great. Couple differences for 2024 compared to my 2023. So they went to a new seat. So Beta's claiming a softer seat. I don't know how much I believe it. I just sat on it, moving it around. That's one thing with the Betas, is their seats have always been super stiff. That's from the beginning, since 2011 with us. A lot of folks will end up doing like a seat concepts or a gut seat. They'll just put a new seat, either like a soft seat, tall seat, whatever you need. So this is last year's seat. I'll pop it off and bring it over. I do think this seat is a little bit taller. I will say that. If you look at this difference here, and I know this is a new red seat cover, so it doesn't give the depth perception as well, but from there to there and there to here, I do think the new seat is just a little bit taller. And maybe that's why they're saying it's a softer seat. So if you guys are online checking out the new Betas and they say softer seat, maybe 5% softer. They didn't do a great job with that this year. The next thing that Beta has been talking about is a new safety tether switch. And so this is like anti-theft, but also it would have a lanyard on it. So if you fell off, it would shut the bike off. Sadly, these bikes shipped without it. There was a note in the crate that said this bike did not come with it. In theory, what they're talking about, and I'll put a still image in here right now, is up here on the handlebar. Come in here, Braxton, and show this. There's supposed to be some sort of box here that has like a slip-in tether, right? So if you crashed, it would pull the tether off and shut the bike off. And it's also anti-theft. So if your key, we'll call it a key, if it's pulled out of its slot, the bike won't start. So I guess maybe over in Europe, they like that kind of technology. I'd almost rather not have it. That's just me. I don't need that kind of thing. So the two things this year, new seat and new tether, above and beyond what they did in 2023. So This is a 300cc two-stroke. It's been detuned, so you can look at the header pipe here, and the way the pipe wraps around, it's a smaller diameter, just gives a more comfortable, smooth power. So the Beta cross trainer is a very linear power. So if you're looking for a two-stroke, that's a great beginner bike, going to get you up the hills at a smooth, safe pace. This is a great bike for it. Now let's show our race bike here. So we went ahead and FMF makes a full performance bike for the Xtrainer. This is made right here in the States. We love it. So because Mark is a great rider and we're not looking for that beginner power, we need like the full potential of this motor. So that's what's beautiful about the cross trainer, is you can still unlock it, you can uncork it. So as you become a better rider and you want more power, that's what we did here. So we got the full FMF exhaust system. We've got a different air cage in this bike. We got different coolant hoses on it. We've got the Boysen rad valve in here. So you can totally take these bikes and turn it into a full-on 300RR. So if you guys are buying this bike and wondering if it's a great idea or not, we sell a ton of cross trainers, by far the biggest seller. So I don't want to go too much into that bike because we have a ton of videos on our channel explaining the cross trainer and what we did to it. So let's just kind of wrap up the features on this bike. So come on into the handlebars, Brax. So we have the clutch up on top here. We have our light switch, so high beam, low beam. We've got the horn. Some states you can put this on the road, so it comes pre-wired for that. We have the dual ignition switch. We have the rain map and the sun cloud. And when I start the bike, it would put a little LED underneath whatever side is being used. We have a full display in the middle. I don't know if you can like tilt it down and look down in there. And so on these, I'll activate it. And so we have, it might be really hard for you guys to see because it's a beautiful day out. It's got the miles on it, which is 0. If I hit this, that's a trip meter A, trip meter B, hour meter A, hour meter B. And I don't know if you guys can see any of that. And then I think the last thing is it goes right back over to miles again. So it gives you an odometer, it gives you a clock, which is clearly wrong. I need to set that clock for the customer. And then on the handlebar here, we have the kill switch, the start button. So with these betas, as soon as I hit that button, the bike is live and it's going to take off. We got the front brake and then our throttle. We can just kind of start on this side in the front. So what can we talk about here? So we have the cooling fan, which comes stock on the cross trainers, which a lot of folks add that, especially for slower, more technical riding. You definitely want a cooling fan to pull the hot air out of your radiators. The oil changes are extremely easy on the cross trainer. So our fill plug is here and our drain plug is right here. So you do not have to remove the skid plate, which we absolutely love. You can literally just drain it and refill it in like 2 minutes. It's the quickest oil change ever. This is oil injected, so you can see our oil injection line going into the car boot here. Now, if you look at our race bike, we removed the oil injection. For racing purposes, we didn't want that in there. It's not a bad system. It works very well. Just for what we were doing, we did not want it. The bike does have Nissan brakes, front and rear, with really good rotors. We've done really well with those. No issues. You get a ton of life out of them. They do have billet hubs. And this year they went to Midas tires, which I've never seen. That's something new for me. So if you look here on this like tag right here, Brax, it is still a 140, I know it's a 140, but what are they calling the other number? 140/80/18, so it's a really wide tire. But yeah, that's new. I have not seen that on a Beta before. And if you come over to this side, Brax, went over and check this thing out. So if we go here, we can pop the seat off with a push of a button. We just push here, pull up on it. And here's our oil tank. There's our battery, so oil injected. So our oil is going to go in here separately. I can put the seat back on. And then we can look underneath the air filter cage too. So come on over here and we'll show the air filter cage. So you pull here, and there's our air filter. So easy to get to this, no tools needed. And then if you want to change the air filter, you just pull down on it and pull out. And so this is how easy the air filter cage comes out of these bikes. For the more experienced riders, we change these cages out because this is a little more choked up, a little more limited. So we go to like the standard air filter cage and we stock those if you guys are looking for one. And my hands are now covered in air filter oil. And then let's come down here on the side of the engine Brax and we'll show off this stuff over here. So Being carbureted, we have our choke, easy to get to. You can slide it up. Choke is completely on, which is awesome. Slave cylinder, front sprocket, countershaft, gear selector. Our fuel shutoff is here, which is the big thing. So we have it's off, on, and reserve. And when you're in the on position, it's going to run out of gas really soon because in these tanks, the fuel petcock is really tall. And so you'll want to keep it in reserve. That's where you want to be most of the time. And that's pretty much a wrap on the Beta cross trainer. So if you guys are looking to grab a new Beta, and if you live anywhere in the East Coast, we'd love to work with you. If you have any other questions on the cross trainer, feel free to give us a call. We'd love to be your dealer. Enjoy the ride.